Hello, beautiful people. Thank you so much for tuning in, watching, and listening. This is going to be the mid-May 2022 reading for the zodiac sign of Virgo. As always, my readings are very intuitive, so I'll provide you any intuitive messages that I receive as well as the meaning of the tarot cards. I do recommend you check out your sun, moon, and rising just to get a full picture of everything that's going on for you this month. And if you haven't done so already, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. When you subscribe, that helps me really greatly, and you'll be notified when I post new videos. But let's go jump in and get started. In column number 1, we're going to take a look at what's wrapping up and coming to a close. Column number 2, we're going to take a look at what's happening through the end of May. We're going to do a money column, a love column, and in the 5th and final column, we're going to do a message from our future self or spirit guides. We're also going to do 3 yes or no questions, a healing note for you, as well as go over your crystal of the month. Let's pull a summary card here for column 1, which is again what's wrapping up and coming to a close for you. We have Fortitude. I don't see this card very often. It's really interesting. Fortitude is like there being obstacles and roadblocks, and this card is kind of like a reminder that not to let these things block you on your path. But let's see what kind of messages we have coming through, what's wrapping up and coming to a close for you, and see what we've got here. Making sure you're all in the picture here. Sorry. Okay, the first card that we have is the King of Cups. The King of Cups is a very supportive, tolerant, and empathetic card. This tolerant is really what's sticking out here, because again, as these roadblocks, these obstacles, and these kind of things have come into your path, you have to be tolerant, you have to keep pushing forward. So this King of Cup type energy is very much so your energy. The next card that we have is Temperance. Temperance is a card of balance, harmony, moderation. I do feel like you've probably found some new balance, some sort of new harmony these last few weeks, and absolutely moderation. But moderation is a word that seems to be really sticking heavy there. The next card that we have is the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords is an interesting card. It's a card of self-imposed restrictions. So if you see this person, their eyes are blindfolded, their arms are bound down, but there are swords stuck all around them. And this person could very easily kind of scoot back and cut themselves free. So some of these roadblocks that you've come across these last few weeks may have been self-inflicted or self-imposed. So do be careful of that, especially as we continue to work through this and move past it, is make sure that it isn't like your thought process that's limiting you, Virgo. Let's go ahead and clarify and see what other messages we have here. The first card we have is the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune, for those of you that have watched my videos before, you know this. The Wheel of Fortune is one of my favorite cards in the entire deck. I love it so much. This indicates a turning point. It's good luck, good fortune. So for those of you that feel like you've hit obstacle after obstacle, like we were talking about with that Fortitude card, this is a good indicator that things are going to change. That doesn't mean that you should lose those King of Cup attributes where you're very tolerant and empathetic and understanding and supportive, but just indicates there will be less challenges going forward, which of course we love. The next card that we have is the Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles is a card of leaving a legacy. It's a card of retirement, inheritance. It can be a large sum of money with the Ten of Pentacles as well. I do feel like there's going to be some financial balance coming for you, or maybe that's what you were feeling these last few weeks, is some financial relief, which is always a good thing as well. Then at the bottom here, we have the Three of Wands. The Three of Wands is a card of teamwork, expansion, travel. And the message that I'm getting here is kind of going off of teamwork, that again, if you feel like there's a possibility that you could be causing some of these roadblocks for yourself, or you could be restricting yourself, don't hesitate to like bounce these ideas off of someone or have this conversation with somebody else. Sometimes you need that outside perspective or that outside set of eyes. Now let's take a look at our next column, which is just a general look at what's going to happen through the end of May. we have another summary card here. We have patterns. I like patterns. This is oftentimes about unlearning old habits and relearning new habits. It's getting into those new patterns in life. But let's see again what messages we have coming through here. The first card we have is the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is a card of withdrawing, retreating, moving on. Again, we were just talking about getting rid of those old patterns. If you see this person, there's these 8 cups at the bottom of the card here, and these 8 cups are stacked pretty nicely. This is neat, it's orderly, it's pretty, but yet the person in the background is still walking away from them. So I'm not saying you have bad habits. I'm not saying you have bad patterns, but there is something better. You're moving on to something better here. The next card that we have is the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles is a very practical card, very solid and very practical. As you make decisions this month, or as you build these new habits and build these new patterns, think very logically, think very solid, think very practical. This is also a card of investment, so some of you could be making some new investments this month as well. Then at the bottom here, we have the Two of Swords. The Two of Swords indicates a decision, and sometimes it can also be a feeling of compromise. So we're going to clarify this, but I would say it's safe to say that there will be some sort of decision going into the end of May for you. The first clarifying card we have is the King of Cups. The King of Cups is again that supportive, tolerant, empathetic. We had this earlier. So you have side by side King of Cups here. And this again, you just have to kind of keep pushing forward. You have to be tolerant as we change these patterns. You have to be persistent too. I think they say it takes 30 days to make a habit. So these new patterns, these new habits may not just pop up overnight for you. It's going to take some tolerance. It's going to take some pushing. It's going to take some persistence on your behalf. The next card we have is the Ace of Wands. Anytime we have an ace card, it's a card of newness. In the case of Ace of Wands, this is typically a new project, new inspiration, new urge to create. So definitely some new investments for some of you. But again, this is like really tying into this new habits and patterns. Maybe some of you are like starting a new workout routine or starting a new eating habit. Maybe it's a sleeping pattern. Maybe it's a spending pattern. Again, just feeling such new, fresh energy here. Very solid, very practical, very wise. Then at the bottom here, we have the Star card. The Star card is a card of renewal, hope. It's very like uplifted emotion. So as you make this decision, this is going to renew you. It's going to give you hope. It could also be giving you inner clarity. This is also like miracle type energy. So this like could feel like something like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did this, or I didn't think this could be reality. I just feel like your energy is steadily rising. You're getting happier. You're feeling better. You're like on the up and up and up, which is good to see, Virgo. Now in our next column, we're going to take a look at anything related to money. So think job, career, finances, businesses you run, investments you have. Again, anything money. The first card we have is the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands indicates a new project or new creative idea. I do feel like some of you are going to be taking on a new project at work, potentially a new job role or a new job, but I think more in terms of like new project at your existing job. The next card that we have is the Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles is a very patient person, so there's something you've been working towards. This, however, though, is typically new job, raise, or money news. So, I mean, I know it's just so, I do think this for some of you could be new responsibility, new project, but this is also saying for some of you this could be a new job or some sort of raise. Potentially taking on this new project is going to be leading to more money for you as well, Virgo. But when I see the Page of Pentacles, it's usually, like I said, that patience, that working hard towards it card. Then the next card we have is the Moon card. The Moon card is unforeseen problems. So I feel like some bumps in the road have popped up, and that's pretty apparent with the Fortitude card. We talked about that, having obstacles. So I feel like there were some bumps in the road as we reached this new project or this new job or this pay raise that's associated with it. This wasn't a seamless process. There did seem to be some unforeseen problems. Now for clarifying cards, we have the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands is a card of self-defense, protecting yourself against competition. If we look at this card, this person's standing on the hill with one wand, and then there's 6 other wands at the bottom of the card trying to hit them. So it's again that having to protect yourself. I feel like you had to compete or prove yourself or defend your work to get this project. And that's likely those unforeseen challenges, that fortitude that we were talking about before. It maybe feels like it should not have had to have been this challenging. The next card that we have is the Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles is a card of collaboration, skill, quality, craftsmanship. I was talking about the Page of Pentacles. This is something that has been so hard earned. You've been so patiently waiting. You've been striving towards this new job, pay raise, new project even, trying to take on, maybe it's a new client at your work, something of that sort. But this is again talking to the skill, the quality, the craftsmanship that you had to put in to get to this point. So again, hard work well earned there. Then at the bottom here, we have the Eight of Swords. We did have the Eight of Swords earlier. And this is kind of just that reminder to make sure that you're not limiting yourself. Especially when we see competition like this, it's hard to be not think about the things oh, that person did this and I only did this. Or it's hard to not get caught up in that competition. So I would warn you to make sure that you're not making this more challenging for yourself. Again, this is self-imposed restrictions. It can be really easy to get in our head, Virgos, and be like, oh, this person's better than me, or they're doing better than me. So just try and stay out of your head. Make sure that you're not causing more challenges for yourself than need be. Now let's take a look at our next column, which is anything related to love. So think family, friends, children, relationships, whatever you associate with love here. The first card that we have is the Knight of Swords. If you take a look at this card, both the horse and rider are moving very, very quickly on this card. The Knight of Swords, sorry. The Knight of Swords is a very fast-paced lifestyle change. So something as it relates to love is going to change quite quickly for you. We're going to clarify and see what messages come through there, but I'm seeing a very quick change coming. The next card that we have is the Emperor card. The Emperor card is a card of strategic planning. So this is long term. I would say that some of you are getting ready to enter a relationship with the Knight of Swords. And it could be a really long-term relationship. It could come out of nowhere and then end up being very, very long-term. The Emperor, again, is that long-term type energy. If you're looking for this is also great traits associated with the Emperor. It's very respectful too. So these are very respectful, healthy relationships. The other thing I'll say about the Emperor card is this is a card of parenting. So if you have children now, this is kind of that stamp of validation of your efforts as a parent and being a good parent. If you're hoping to have children, this can be a good indicator too of pregnancy and fertility. Then at the bottom here, we have the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups has a couple different meanings. Some of you can be feeling unfulfilled in the current state, whether you're in a relationship or single. There's something that just isn't quite feeling right. But I'm feeling really hopeful about that Knight of Swords and that quick shift of energy that seems to be coming through. With the Four of Cups, this fourth cup can also be a gift too. So you could be getting surprise flowers or date night, even a surprise vacation. These are surprise gifts coming in that fourth cup. Let's go ahead and take a look here and see what we have. At the top here, we have the Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles is very much so typically a money card. It's a card of luxury, self-sufficiency, financial gain. solo pleasures. When I see this card, especially in the relationship column or the love column, oftentimes it's a reminder, whether you're single or in a relationship, to make sure that you're making time for yourself. Maybe your partner is like going to start going out of town for work, and that's going to be giving you both more money but also more time to yourself. I feel like part of this shift that's coming is more time for yourself, but it's not like because a relationship ended. There just seems to be some sort of new pattern of having more time, you time, Virgo. The next card that we have is the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands is a card of rivalry, challenges, obstacles. I know we've heard the word obstacle quite a bit in this reading. So these are those small bumps in the road. If you look at this card, they're fighting with wands here. They're not fighting with swords. There's been some small bumps. Some of you could be having challenges getting pregnant. You could have had like custody battles possibly too. Seems to be coming through because the Emperor is very much so a parental card. But there seems to be like good respect between whoever, even though there's conflict here or these challenges, it is still a very respectful relationship. Then at the bottom here we have the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man is stagnant energy. So I do feel like for some of you, you've been feeling stuck for a while. You've been feeling unfulfilled. Something hasn't been met. And that's just that reflection of kind of that feeling stuck in that unfulfilled place. But again, we have the Knight of Swords, so there is that love change coming for you. So I do feel like that for those of you feeling that lack of fulfillment, this will be a good shift going into the end of May for you. Now, for our fifth and final column, we're going to do a message from our future self or spirit guides. We have the card Discernment. Discernment is like being affected by your environment. So this is like the quality of food you eat affects you. The people you hang out affects you. You're very influenced by your environment. So if you look at this card, there's like beautiful colors and flowers all around this card. So make sure that your environment is feeding you in a healthy way. But let's see what messages come through here. Oops, I don't want to do that. Okay, the first card that we have is the Empress. The Empress is a card of creation, abundancy. In order to get this abundance and this beautiful creation, we do need to be careful of our environment. And again, what we're feeding ourselves and what we're surrounding ourselves by. When you surround yourself with abundance, you're going to have abundance. So just keep that in mind. The Empress is also a really wonderful parenting card, which we were talking about with the Emperor as well, and fertility. So it can be a good indicator of good parenting as well as fertility. The next card that we have is the Ace of Cups. Anytime we have an Ace card, it is a card of newness. In the case of Ace of Cups, this is typically new baby, relationship, proposal, marriage. Definitely lots and lots of fertility energy coming through here, pregnancy energy coming through here, Virgo, if that's what you're interested in. This paired with that quick shift too, again, I do feel like some of you could be entering into a really healthy long-term relationship. You could be creating future too. This is like your family, your love life that you're creating and shaping here too. Then at the bottom here, we have the Five of Cups. The Five of Cups is a card of loss, regret, grief, feeling abandoned, feeling unloved. These again are these low feelings that we need to get away from with that Discernment card. We can't be surrounding ourselves with these feelings. Let's clarify this row though and see what other messages we have here. At the top here, we have the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is very confident and very self-assured. That's also going to help you. Conveniently, we have another flower on here. Remember, we want to surround ourselves with this beautiful growth, flowers, vibrant colors, really surrounding ourselves in a super healthy and happy environment. But this is being confident and being self-assured as well. You can't doubt your ability to create, Virgo, or you can't create. The next card that we have is the Ace of Pentacles. Again, those ace cards being any being newness. So with Ace of Pentacles, this is new job, raise, promotion, investment, income. I do feel like whatever you want to create, whether it's baby or family or a relationship or a marriage or a new job or new money, this is saying your ability to create is endless, assuming that you're in the right environment and you're focused on that abundance and on that creation. Then at the bottom here, we have the Moon card. The Moon card is trusting your intuition. And what I mean by this, or the message that's coming through here, is like you need to know what to weed out and what to leave in. Are you ripping up a flower or are you ripping up a weed? Again, focus on that environment. Now at this point in time, I'm going to give you the opportunity to ask 3 yes or no questions. If you don't have those questions in mind, you can pause the video and think of them really quick. We're going to use the Gypsy Witch fortune telling deck to answer those questions. For question number 1, we have the 6 of clubs. This is number 43 card. That's going to be a no. Question number 4 is the 4 of diamonds. This is the number 27 card. That's going to be a no. And for question number 3, we have the 2 of spades. This is the number 34 card. That's going to be a yes. So we have no, no, yes, Virgo. If you watched your video earlier this month, we did pull a card from our Healing Stones deck, which is a crystal to keep with you throughout the month of May. Your crystal for this month is turquoise, which is good for self-responsibility. Really helps you forge your own destiny. Helps with boundaries too, though, and saying things like no. And last but not least, we're going to pull a card from our Healing Notes deck. Your note says, "This too you will conquer." Thank you so much, Virgo, for tuning in, watching, and listening. Please do like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how this video resonates with you. Again, when you subscribe, that helps me greatly, and you'll be notified when I post future videos. Also, if you feel inclined, I did include my Venmo in the comments box if you'd like to make a donation. But thank you so much, Virgo, and have a wonderful rest of your May.